Week 2 is coming to a close tonight with tonight's Monday night showdown. The Jets playing the Browns. Couple Week 2 big injuries with 2 specific starting quarterbacks. The Giants drop another heartbreaker at home against the Bills, continuing their rebuild. And baseball postseason, along with hockey regular season, is right around the corner. Welcome back to the Impractical Talker Sports Show. Jordan here, as always, to my left. I feel like Tom's now to my left from now on. And he started off to my right. Now it's Tom's. I think he's going to stick to my left. So we got Tom to my left. Ringo back over the Skype. Ringo's Jets play tonight. Tom, how are we doing?
Well, you said a heartbreaker yesterday for the Giant fans, and it's not really a heartbreaker, seeing how we knew this was going to happen.
You're not mad. You're just disappointed.
Like, honestly, you saw in the group chat when everything was happening, the Giants' defense just can't stop anything. I texted just laughing. It's just something that you have to laugh at. It's like the Knicks a couple years ago in the postseason. They're so bad. I just laughed at it. Giants, their defense can't stop anybody. I just
tell
laugh
me
at
about
it.
a defense that can't stop anyone. I know the feeling. I got to watch that for the past 5 years.
5 years? Jordan, you make it like the Steelers have been bad for the past 3 years.
Their defense has been putrid for 5-6 years. Yeah, they've been a good team. But the defense, I know what you mean by the defense. Trust me.
Jordan, if you get playoff football, I don't want to hear, I watch it. I know.
No,
Right?
I got playoff football. They should have had Super Bowl football. But their defense and coaching has consistently let them down for the past God knows how many years. And now it's coming to a head. But as I said before, there are some key injuries at quarterback. Ben Roethlisberger, elbow injury. He was dealing with it in what's it called? He was dealing in practice this week, and then he was nagging during the game. He didn't even get hit. He made a pass, and he felt it immediately. He really didn't in his 6 quarters of action this year. He really didn't do much. He has no touchdowns. The offense wasn't going anywhere. And then Drew Brees got hurt yesterday in that highly anticipated Rams-Saints game. Rams blew them out of the building. He threw a pass. His hand collided with Aaron Donald's, and Aaron Donald's hand's like the size of I don't even know, like another football. And now he's going to get surgery. He'll be out 6 weeks. We got that alert before we came in to the show today that Drew Brees will be getting surgery on his hand. So Saints are now probably going to fall a little bit out of the NFC playoff picture. So who's
a little bit out? I think they're out.
So who's the big dog now in the NFC then? The Rams, right?
I think. Yeah.
Well, the Rams.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to think the Rams for now.
They just spanked the Saints.
They did, yeah. And the Saints' schedule with Drew Brees out, they're in Seattle, home against the Cowboys, home against the Bucks, in Jacksonville, in Chicago, home against the Cardinals. They got a bye, and then they're home against the Falcons.
Yeah,
so that's all that he
defenses.
could miss.
You said Chicago and Jacksonville?
Chicago, Jacksonville, yeah. Yeah, and the Cowboys defense, which is pretty good. They got them in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
on Sunday Night Football.
Jacksonville might not be a good team, but that defense is still pretty good. They held Deshaun Watson and the Texans to 13 points. They almost won. They went for it at the end. And what was the game? Did you guys see the? It was the Denver game against the Bears. Denver made it. Denver was out on the game trying to tie the game on the last drive of the game, down 13-6. And then Denver scored to make it 13-12. They go for 2. They get a delay a game. So they're like, all right, screw it. We're not having like a 10-yard 2-point conversion. We'll just tack on the 5 yards to the extra point instead of going for the win. So we'll just go for the tie now and try to go to overtime. They kick the field goal. The kicker misses. But there's a flag. Buster screen on the Bears goes off sides. So then the Bears.
Oh my God, I didn't see any of this.
Yeah, then the Broncos go back to their normal 2-point conversion spot. So in 2 plays, they went from 2-point conversion from the normal spot, delay game, 5-yard penalty. So they said, screw it, we're not having like an 8-yard 2-point conversion. We're going to go kick a field goal. They kick the extra point, miss, penalty on the Bears, offsides. They go back to their normal spot. Then they get the 2-point conversion. So now they're up 14-13 with like 30 seconds left. Bears have the ball. Trubisky's doing nothing all game. 4th and 10. Trubisky hits a huge first down. 1 second left on the clock. They down the ball. Timeout. 1 second. They barely got it. And then the new Bears kicker hits like a 50-yarder for the win. And the Bears won. It was a great
I saw a tweet on that.
Yes,
they won.
I saw a tweet on that how it was an emotional kick for the kicker or whatever. I don't know. Are they calling it emotional for a reason that I don't know? Or are they calling it emotional because they missed the field goal in the playoffs?
I want to go with the latter. Because maybe there's something else going on, but I want to say maybe it's just the
because
playoff kick.
If they're dating it back to the play, like, are we kidding? Like, it's a totally different kicker.
Whenever
How
there's
is
a
it
pass
emotional?
interference call for the Saints? Is it emotional?
I was going to say, did you see everything that happened yesterday when their fumble return for a touchdown was called back, and even though it should have been, it went all right back to that the refs are just screwing over the Saints. But also, did you not see all the tweets when they're like, "Oh, we finally found a kicker"? It's because of what happened last year. They finally found a kicker. Yeah, that's what It's not like they came out and said it, but all the tweets about it. If they finally found a kicker,
they
that's
finally
what it's
got
about.
closure. Even though it's week 2 game, they got closure to that situation.
But I don't like your kicker.
But it's one kick in week 2.
I was gonna say, what closure is that? Next
it's
week
not
you
like
could go
it's
out
not
and
like
miss
they
two.
advanced.
Let them have this. All right?
Let them have this, but the Saints get anything. Jordan wants them dead.
Let them
No,
have
if
this.
they advanced in a playoff game because of a kick, yeah, you can say it was emotional. But it's a week 2 game.
It was a
Like,
big
come on.
game. They were dead in the water.
I know, but still, I don't know. I didn't like the way I read that.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that emotional. It was probably like
Yeah.
good for Bears fans. Like, oh my, thank God, because
Yeah.
but the Saints, they can't even complain about that fumble call because they lost like 29-3. So, what are you gonna do? Yeah, it's not really that one call held you back. But then we had the we'll stick with the injuries before we dive more into the Giants game and what's going on with them. Sticking with the injuries, Roethlisberger's now out. We'll find out later today if he's going to have surgery on it. So, but I think it's most likely that Mason Rudolph will start against the 49ers this Sunday. Mason Rudolph came in and kept the Steelers in that game. He played great when he came in the second half. He did throw a pick, but that was not his fault at all. Have you guys been seeing Dante Moncrief doesn't know how to catch a ball?
Was that 5 drops in
Yeah,
the first 2 games?
5 drops in 2 games. This last one was his worst one. It was his only target of the game. It was a 3rd and 10. He goes for a 12-yard curl route, or like 11-yard curl route. He catches it. It's a first down. He would have been tackled immediately, but it's a first down. Throws the ball right into his hands. Misses it. It goes right through his hands, off his face, bounces over his head, off the helmet, and the Seattle guy picks it off. Yeah.
Was it just as bad as Nelson Aguilar's drop last night?
I didn't see
late
Nelson
in the game.
Aguilar's drop.
You didn't see it? Oh my God! Carson Wentz put it exactly in his hands where it's supposed to be. He would have been gone for a touchdown. It was on that late drive where they couldn't convert and they lost the game.
Nelson Aguilar made a big play on 4th and long.
He did that. He made up for it with that play, but like a few plays before that, he missed a second down. Like he was gone for a touchdown. Carson Wentz put it exactly where it needed to be, and he just
that does
dropped
sound like
it.
it's worse though.
But Ringo, he made up for it because I forgot they still lost by 4 points.
Well, no, he made up for himself, but he
Yeah,
didn't make
But
it
I
up
don't
for
think
the
there's
team.
any making up for yourself if you just.
Unless he got a touchdown. But yeah, he got him back in. He did help.
Well, in that time of the game, he made up for it because he caught a big 4th down.
Yeah,
that
that was a beautiful throw by Carson Wentz. He threw it. He lobbed it like it was like a pop up in baseball.
Yeah.
It just fell right into Nelson Aguilar's hands.
The pass by Carson Wentz that he dropped was even better.
It sounds
Dante
like
Moncrief with your phone.
no. I was just getting rid of notifications. But yes, and I almost dropped like Dante Moncrief. Yeah, but no, it sounds worse than Dante Moncrief though. But yeah, that was his only target of the game. Wound up being an interception. The Seahawks wound up scoring, and then the Steelers are 0-2 on the year. The defense of the Steelers, they started off good yesterday. The first half, they went into halftime only letting up 3 points. They looked good. And then they came out of half and went back to the Patriot game. Couldn't make a stop. I think they scored in every possession they had, the Seahawks, except for the last one.
Seahawks are a good team, and now you're going to have the 49ers next week, who went off on offense this week. They had like 500 yards before the 4th quarter.
Yeah,
like
the
total
Bengals,
offense.
They killed them. Yeah, so
yeah,
and the defense isn't getting any better in a week. So,
but why do you think Dante Moncrief, who has been a good, serviceable wide receiver in this league, why? How do you just forget how to catch a football? How does this happen?
It's got to be just like the
it's
the first
head,
few
right?
weeks of football. It's just like guys come out shaky in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, but if I
You
would
don't really get in
understand
that
that
group.
if he hasn't played, like Le'Veon
I'm not
Bell
giving him
hasn't played in
excuses.
year, hasn't played any preseason, I would understand that maybe. But he went through all of training camp, right? Went through practice.
He's not Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's not something that he's trying to pick up a new scheme. It's catching a football, which he's been doing since Pop Warner.
I'm not giving him excuses. It's not okay that it happens, but maybe it's just he's just got to get more into the groove of things. But that's on him. He
I
shouldn't.
don't think he's going
That
to get
shouldn't
into
be the
any
case.
groove of thing when he's going to get cut from this
Yeah,
team.
he's got to be.
No, I know.
They got right.
No, I know.
You think, but the Steelers
Yeah.
don't do anything. They just been.
How'd James Washington look? Is he living up to the hype?
No, he's doing nothing right now.
He's doing nothing.
The whole offense was doing nothing until Mason Rudolph came in. Mason Rudolph tore it up.
I think then we found our problem, Big Ben.
Yeah. Like no. Oh my God. This is what I'm talking about when we've just talked about like where fans like jump the gun and like I couldn't and get like really irrational, like the really dumb fans. I couldn't believe what I was reading. I looked at the comments on like their post game tweet like that they lost the Steelers on Twitter or whatever, on Instagram, and I had to see people commenting that I think Big Ben's time's done. Time to give the ball to Mason Rudolph. Time to put Big Ben on the bench and give Mason Rudolph a look. Like, are you kidding me? Guy played a half of regular season football. Yeah, he did really good, but oh my God.
All those people on social media just want to be like the first ones to like call it as soon as they see any sight of like regression on these quarterbacks or on any player for that matter. It's such an overreaction and it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
If he's got 6 more weeks of playing like this or something like that, then maybe you can say something. But one game, like come on, or even 2,
a game and a half.
Yeah, like even 2 full games, you can't just come to that conclusion that he's done. It's called a slump.
Yeah.
You're telling me if Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, or Pete Alonso, or any one of the big-name baseball players, if they go 0 for 10 over a course, are they done? They're not done. It's a
Time
slump.
to get in the backup right field.
Yeah.
Baseball slumps a little different than football slumps.
It's not even it's a game and a half.
I get that, but still, it's not one. Think about fantasy football in general. You can have a bad week from your studs, and what are they? Are they ready for retirement? No, they just have a bad week. It happens every week.
You know. Yeah, I had to see that. I'm like, this is just those were probably the same Met fans that thought they were winning the division in August.
100%.
Yeah, but
this segues us perfectly. Because we have another quarterback lurking on the bench, ready to go, and Daniel Dimes. Danny Dimes.
When is it time? I still think it's early for Daniel Jones. Like you're not going to go week 3 or 4 or maybe 5.
I think it's until they're eliminated from the playoffs.
I think Pat Shurmur said that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with what he said, and then he's not going to be on the field until they're either blown out of a game or somehow by some miracle are blowing out a team, which I just don't see possible. But I think he's not going to see the field until they're mathematically eliminated. And I don't know.
Well, he's already seen the field.
But it's either until he's mathematically eliminated or there's a blowout in the game.
That's
the only way I see it happening.
Yeah.
Or obviously if Eli gets injured. But yesterday was not a good game. Obviously, people are going to scrutinize the defense, and they should because they look horrible. Not even close to an NFL team on defense. And they're going to, just pick apart the defense. But the offense also didn't do anything.
What do you expect from the offense, really? What do you expect from this team, really? Other than Saquon.
Yeah, I don't know how you could have any expectations for this team. Like you just want to go out. It's sort of like the Jets, for the past 3 years. You just want to go out and see your young talent play well. We wanted to see Jamal Adams play well. We wanted to see Sam Darnold play well last year. It's not about winning games, it's about looking competitive and seeing if they could be in this league. That's what you want to see from Saquon Barkley. That's what you want to. I mean, but the Giants are a little different. They really have no young talent. I guess Sterling Shepard. You want to see if he can be a wide receiver 2, a solid 2 for a long time, stuff like that. That's what we want to see out of the Giants this season.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing: as a fan, you hear the Dolphins players can't go through a tank or a rebuild. You hear, Odell Beckham Jr. couldn't go through a rebuild. We got to get him out of here. I don't know if me personally, as a fan, if I could take a 5-year
The Giants
rebuild.
don't care about you.
I know. Yeah, that's great, Ringo. I know they don't care about me. I care about me. I'm just saying, seeing what they put on the field the past 2 weeks, if that's what I'm going to see for the next 48 weeks of football out of them,
Yeah, that's probably what we'll see.
I think that Sundays are going to be about fantasy football for me. Obviously, I'm not
just
jumping ship to another fandom, but I'll be sure that I'll put on NFL Red Zone instead of just the Giants game.
No, you got to watch the Giants game and see how this team looks, like individual
I saw
players and stuff.
the first 2 weeks gave me a good idea of how this team looks.
Back-to-back weeks, their first drives were really good. They had scoring drives.
And then the defenses realize, okay, they're going to give it to Barkley. Once Barkley gets down there, that's going to be it for them.
Yeah.
So once you stop Barkley, you stop the team. There you go. They figured it out.
I think we knew that coming into this season. I don't think that should be a
obviously
surprise.
The first two drives for them against the Cowboys and against the Bills, they didn't realize that. What was it? Literally every play yesterday for the first drive was a rush. They went 75 yards just running the ball.
Yeah.
So
Saquon Barkley's that good that you're not the Bills know they need to stop him. Doesn't mean they're going to stop him. He's that good.
Just because you know you need to stop Connor McDavid doesn't mean you're going to stop Connor McDavid.
Well, that is correct. But
I have a Connor McDavid comparison actually. If you want to just keep going though.
Go ahead, Joe. No, go
ahead.
ahead.
It has nothing to do with the Giants though.
Anyway,
so keep going about the Giants.
The Giants, Josh Allen looked amazing. What was he at? He was at around 200 some odd yards before half. Just running, scrambling, throwing. Everything was working for him.
253, 19 of 30. Not a great game.
No, the first half was
okay.
If you look at his first half numbers, and if he did anything near it for the second half, it would have been one of his career games.
The Giants, it's annoying that your team's not good, but it's not like you came in this year expecting this team to be decent and they're horrible. You expected this to be a rough one, and it's going to be kind of a rough one. But and the thing is, I'm comparing it to the Steelers' defense. The Giants have no names on defense that should be good.
Well, you still have Peanut Jenkins, Janoris Jenkins.
Peanut Jenkins, as I like to call him. Yeah. He kind of regressed in the past couple of years, right?
Yeah, but he also came out and said, I can't cover anybody for 10 seconds. We have to get a pass rush. So, is he wrong?
I can't cover someone for 10 seconds. It is true.
Is he wrong? No. He's not wrong. But also, even if the pass rush gets there in a second, it's not going to matter because guess what? The defense can't cover anyone for a second.
Yeah.
So,
I know the feeling now in Pittsburgh.
Who's your second string corner? Oh, the rookie you just drafted, right?
Hamilton.
Yeah, DeAndre Baker. How's so DeAndre Baker, how's he looking?
Not
this
good.
year's about him.
Not good.
Yeah.
That's great.
But I'm just giving you an example. I'm just giving you an example of what you need to watch. You, as a Giants fan, your job isn't to watch them and hope for wins. Your job is to just watch them and see if these players and they just look
I'm
somewhat.
their scout. Okay, I forgot I'm going to all the league games and I'm looking for them.
I'm not saying you're a scout, but if you're going there and really thinking that they're going to look good and win a game, then you're just delusional. Because they're not. They're not
for them to win a game.
That was like me with the Jets.
Game. I'm sorry, I'm delusional.
That was like me with the Jets last year, and honestly, it's the same thing with the Jets this year.
You're delusional. Honestly, you're delusional to think that your team's going to win a game.
But Ringo, you're also the fan who didn't want your team to make the playoffs. So I don't want to hear it.
First of all, I said that last show. I never said I didn't want them to make the playoffs. I'm just being realistic, and
you might not have said it, but you typed it.
I think you tweeted it.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, we got it. You didn't want to make the playoffs.
I don't remember. Whatever. Just making the playoffs is pointless. That's the bottom line, whether they make it or not.
I said that if the Mets do all of this and they're 2 games out and they still don't make the playoffs, I would say it was a waste because then you still have the GM and the manager going into next year because everyone's going to say, oh, they made a run for it. Let's see what they can do next year. That's why I said it's a waste. You're just saying it's a waste because you didn't like the moves that they made and just because they're not going to win out or win the World Series, so there's no point in them making the playoffs. That's just not a fan to me. Because in the MLB, what do you need, a high draft pick Stop. Like, you want them to win. Well,
Yeah,
you
I'm
don't
not
want
saying
them to win.
No, I'm not saying they need to tank. No, I like seeing them win. I don't want them to lose. I'm just saying if they make the playoffs, it's pointless, regardless.
Once you get into the
made
playoffs,
moves,
it's not pointless.
They made moves at the deadline as if they were a championship team, but they're farthest
Yes.
thing from it.
Hockey,
Can they?
NFL, NBA. There's only one league in there that you make the playoffs, it doesn't matter, and that's the NBA because you had the Warriors. It's like, okay, you made the playoffs, you made the postseason, that's great, but you have the Warriors.
With this bullpen, you honestly think we're going to be able to win a game or a series in the playoffs?
See,
You honestly think that?
No. It better be. The answer
Tom-
better be
Tom,
no.
with this bullpen,
Again,
guess
if you
what? If
think
you don't
that,
have to
you're
get to
if
that
you
bullpen,
think that, you're
you could win
delusional.
They're
the
going to
game.
have to get to that bullpen.
Okay,
Not if you take 3 starters and you
let's
throw the
put
other 2
DeGrom
starters
and
in the
Syndergaard.
bullpen.
Let's put
Tom,
let's
there's
put
gonna be
DeGrom and
games where the
Syndergaard
starters
out
are
10
going in.
innings.
Okay, that's great.
There's
So you
gonna
know
be
what?
games that Syndergaard might get hit.
you know what? You
or
two-
Nats might get hit.
yeah.
Or Wheeler might get hit.
Yeah, they might. That's
you
great.
can't just count on your starters being
Okay, and there
aces.
might be games where Judge and Stay and they go 0 for 4, and that's great and all. But see, here's the thing. If we're just going to go, you know what, they're probably going to lose because their bullpen sucks, great, don't make the playoffs. That's wonderful. Or how about, they make the playoffs, and what happens, what everyone thinks is going to happen, and I see it, great. Or they might surprise some people. But here's the thing. I'm going to be a fan, and I'm going to hope that they make the postseason, and I'm going to hope that they prove people wrong. I'm not going to be, they're not going to win because of the bullpen. So what's the point? No, that's not how that works.
I would have
You're
no
100%.
I wouldn't have any hope. It's
you're
like a hockey
100%
team going
right.
in the playoffs with a bad goalie. It's like I don't have any confidence because you need to have good goaltending in the playoffs.
So then would you rather just go golfing?
You're
No,
mistaking
I'd rather
me.
them not. Like if they make the playoffs, great. But I would have no hope.
Okay, that's
I
great.
would not
But
have
you
much
still
confidence.
want them to make the playoffs, right?
Yeah, I would
Because
still
we got
want them to
Ringo
make the
over here
playoffs.
now, hoping that
I
they
would
go
still
on a
want them
cruise.
to
I
make the
never
playoffs.
said I don't want them. I'm just saying it's pointless if they do.
Pretty sure you tweeted.
Go
it.
to the tweet.
tweeted
I
it.
don't know. I don't remember what I tweeted. If
I
I
remember it was
don't
in a
remember.
big paragraph. But no, if you can't honestly think that the Mets can make a run here with this bullpen.
No, they're
No,
4
you
games
can't.
out with 13
You can't.
left
That-
after last night's debacle.
Let's say even if they make the play, let's say some miracle happens again and they make it. They're not making any noise in the playoffs. This bullpen is too atrocious to God forbid
Who
throw out in
have
a
the-
playoff game.
The runs that they went on, the series that they're winning, who are they realistically beaten? They swept the Indians, big deal. Everyone else that was serious competition, they've either gotten swept or lost the series. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you?
You know they
Tells you
can't.
that they
and
can't
who's their closer in the
but-
postseason?
Ringo,
Lugo
what-
just blew it last night.
But Ring, what do you talk about? They beat the Nationals, right?
Those aren't big time contenders. I'm talking
The
about.
Nationals are making the postseason.
I'm talking about the Braves and the Dodgers.
But I'm talking, I'm talking about the big guns. Like you think anything can happen as soon as they go in?
Yeah.
Not with this team. Not with this team.
Anything can happen. I said it. I'll say it again.
If you're banking on
MLB
anything can happen, that's not really that much confidence.
Well, no,
You're
it's not that much
technically
confidence.
not
But
wrong.
MLB,
Tom,
NFL,
you're
and NHL, their playoffs are different. You can have an 8 seed win.
Yes, you can. Yeah, you had the Los
But
Angeles
those
Kings
8
win a
seeds-
Stanley Cup as the 8
but
seed,
those
but they had
8
a good
seeds
goalie
look
and good
yeah.
defense.
Those
And
8
the Mets
seeds
have
look
good
better
starting
than the
pitching
Mets right
and a
now.
good lineup.
Yeah, and the bullpen's a disaster. Who's closing out games for you? Who's your
The
seventh,
Mets.
eighth,
Lugo.
and ninth?
Mets
He
have
just
a-
blew the
Seth-
game last night.
No, Seth Lugo 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah, and he blew it against a World Series contender last night in a
The
huge
only
game. They
confidence-
needed.
So
The
obviously,
only confidence, Tom, you're wrong with your
You're
Mets
throwing
assessment.
Diaz and Familia
The
out
only-
there in the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th innings.
Their
Let's say.
bullpen is garbage. We all agree on. Their starters, yes, you can make the argument and say that their starters are postseason as a postseason roster.
Yes, their starters are.
Yes,
no
okay,
argument, it
but
is. It's a
their
fact.
lineup is not a postseason thing. They're very shaky. They are not consistent.
You are correct. They are not consistent, but I think
Okay, but you said you said those two aspects of the team are good, and it's just their bullpen. So let's go win a World Series.
That's obviously obviously everyone's lineup. You're gonna have stretches of where you could score 5 runs at ease or more, and then they're gonna have stretches where they can't even put a run
it's
up on
not
the board.
just
I'm not
they're
putting their
slumping. It's
lineup
not
up
just
there
they're
with the
slumping.
Yankees, Astros, Dodgers,
Yeah, no,
Braves.
it's not that they're just slumping,
Twins.
Tom. If that was the case, then I would agree with you. It's just that they're not on that level. They're
So,
not.
Did
They're
I
not
say
playoff.
Did I say they're gonna make the postseason? No, I do not think they're going to make it 4 out, 13 left. I just don't think
But
they
you
are.
think they
but
can
as
compete?
a fan, would I hope that they would? Yes, that's
Yeah,
the
I
only
would
argument.
too.
Yes, that's
I'm
the
with
only
you
argument
there.
I have here.
I'm
is
with
how
you there.
Said
I'm just
you
telling
don't
you
even
it's
want them to make the
pointless.
postseason.
And you're also saying that anything can happen in the postseason if
Yes.
the Mets make it. We're saying that the Mets won't make any noise in the postseason if they even make it there. The bullpen is too much of a disaster.
I'm not telling
There's
you I
only
don't
one way
want
to
them
find
to
out,
make
and we're
the
not going to be able
playoffs.
to find out this year. So
Yeah,
I'm
and
not telling you that I don't want them to make the playoffs. I'm telling you that it's pointless for them to make the playoffs because I don't believe they're going to make noise. Yes, are you technically right? Can they go on a run? Yes, they can. But do I believe they will? No, I don't. And that's just me being
It's like a
realistic. That's not me.
99.9%
That's not
chance
me.
they don't.
That's not me rooting against them. I obviously want to be wrong, but I don't think I am. I'm just being realistic. There's a difference.
It's like the last year of Tavares on the Islanders. They made a run. Oh, wait, no. The last year the Tavares was on the Islanders, they had a good team until December, and then they kind of just treaded water in January. And it's like, and they were still kind of in the postseason hunt, but they weren't a good team because they had a huge flaw. Their defense was horrible. So would I want them to make the postseason? Yeah, but if they went into the postseason, they were probably getting spanked because they couldn't play defense.
Therefore,
the
it's
defense
pointless.
wound up being their problem, and they wound up falling more and more out of it as the months went on. Similar to the Mets right now. And, yeah, that Kings team in 2012, they had a solid team. Even though they were the 8th seed, they were a solid team. They had really good defense, really good goaltending, and the offense was good enough.
They were not as, if you're comparing them, they were not as underdog as the Mets are.
They're not
They
even
were.
The Mets are more underdog.
That's the difference. You got to look. You don't just look. 8th seed, second wild card spot. They're the same level.
Yeah, no.
There's more than that. You got to look into things more. You can't just make those comparisons like that.
Well, yes, obviously you look into things more. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
It's not
but what
obvious,
I'm saying
Tom,
is if you
'cause you
get
didn't
in,
do it.
you have a chance. That's all I'm saying. You get in, you have a chance.
Yeah, you are. You're saying anything but you also said during this that, like, you would have confidence. Like, the bullpen, you can just put 2 starters in the bullpen.
Well, I'm not saying, you just throw them in there and then that fixes all the problems. No, obviously that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that you do, maybe it's not a solution, but you can somewhat try to fix it if you get into there. You can switch some things around to try to make it a little bit better.
But it still wouldn't work. Because
It might not.
There's so many
but
liabilities
here's the thing.
back there.
You got to do what you can once you're there.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah,
try
you
to
do.
switch things around.
Yeah, you do.
Like the Islanders, who are they going to go with their goalie? Which one do you go with? They were ready to switch things if they needed to.
Yeah, but that wasn't there. It's still not a liability. The Islanders weren't at a liability if they went to Grice. They go into the postseason, let's say, and by some miracle with 13, 14, 15 games left, 4 games back. They have one liability after another in that bullpen. Who's closing games? Who's your 8th inning guy? Who's your 7th inning guy?
There's a lot of questions
Syndergaard's
around
been
this
inconsistent all year.
Yeah, so
Wheeler's
you
been
throw-
good. Max
you
has
throw
been
him out of the
inconsistent.
bullpen. I mean, obviously that's not realistic, but let's just say he comes out of the bullpen. He could just let up 10 runs in an inning like he did in the start. It doesn't mean that they're guaranteed to shut down, strike out the
No,
side.
it does not. But I would
And
like
guess
to.
what?
I would like
They're
to
vers-
watch it.
They go into, let's say, the wild card game. They're versing Scherzer. Then Corbin's going to come out of the bullpen. Then maybe Strasburg might come out of the bullpen. And let's say by God's grace they get out of that. They go into L.A. They face the Chinese guy. Then they face Kershaw. Then they face Bueller. They got to have a lead. It's a long shot.
Tom, you're mistaking my pointless reason for them making the playoffs as me rooting against them. I'm not rooting against them. Yes, I would love to see them in the playoffs, but the difference between me and you is I'm sitting there, I'm not having any expectations that they're going to win this playoff game, playoff wildcard game, or playoff series, however far they make it. You're sitting there like, this is it. This is our miracle year. That's
no,
the
I'm not
difference.
sitting there like this is our miracle year. I'm just sitting there as a fan wanting to see
No,
more of my
I'm
team
rooting.
and wanting to see what they could do. It's just
No,
that
I'm
simple.
rooting.
I don't think
I'm
that once
rooting
they get
for
to the
them.
wild card up, they won the World Series. No, it's nothing like that. That's how you want to make it out to be, how I'm acting. I'm just making it out to be, hey, I'm a fan of this team. Hey, hopefully they make the playoffs. Unlike you. No, they shouldn't make it because they're not going to win. No. That's not how that works.
You keep accusing me of things that I didn't say, and you keep bringing up this topic for the last 3 shows.
Me and Jordan
now.
agree. You
So-
said it. You
so
don't want
you're
to
the-
make the
so-
yeah.
So you're the one that keeps bringing this up.
No, I'm not. Me and
Where's
Jordan
the
are in
tweet?
agreement
Where's-
here.
You did say in the beginning, though, Tom. Ringo, you're wrong because you did tweet that they didn't want to make the playoffs. And, Tom, you're wrong because in the beginning of all this, you said that If they make it to the playoffs, the bullpen it could work. You made it set. You came off. You didn't come off. You pretty much said it could work if you put 2 stars in the bullpen and it'd be fine. But then
I'm not saying that it would work up. You're
both kind of backtracking.
No,
I'm not saying that I don't remember tweeting it. I'm not saying I didn't do it, but what I meant was that I just think it's pointless. Okay, you can call that backtracking, whatever it is, but I'm obviously a fan. I obviously root for this team no matter what. It's just I'm just more realistic than not when it comes to these things and things like that.
You're on the half glass empty side of things. That's what you're saying. So say obviously Darnold's out until week 5, week 6, whatever. The Jets somehow made a run for a wild card spot. No point. Why even go there, Jets? We don't want to see it. You're not going to beat the Patriots.
A totally different.
Why?
No,
why? Because they're not going to win.
No, I would agree that it's pointless for them to make the playoffs, but if they do, they do.
Ringo, stop saying that it's pointless for your teams to make the playoffs. Be a fan. Have some.
With the roster that they have. They couldn't even. They choked against the
point of
Bills.
watching sports for you. When you're a fan of a team, you don't have any hope. That's what sports are all about. Have some hope, cheer them on, and hopefully they go out and win a game and surprise you. But no, nope, they're not going to win it. No point.
You're blowing up how I am. You're putting me on the worst level possible. I'm obviously all those things too. I do hope that the Jets are going to win every game. I do hope that they can make a run. But do I really believe that that's going to happen until they show me that they can?
Obviously, there's
a different
and
mindset than right now. I'm going off what I've seen. I'm not just going, oh, Mets bad, not going to make it. Oh, Mets good, are going to make it. I'm going off based on what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing from this team was, yes, I saw a 15 out of 16 run by this team. They looked dominant. That's amazing. A month later, they were not that team. A month later, they were losing against better talent. A month later, they were not doing what they were doing during that stretch, and they still haven't gotten back to that level. So what does that tell you, Tom?
Being hopeful and being optimistic, then there's being realistic.
Yes. Yes, if they go on there's 2 weeks after the season, if they go on another stretch and they get hot beforehand, and I see them beating good talent and getting into the postseason, I'm 100% gonna root for them. But it's streaky, it's fluky. The Yankees have lost everyone throughout the entire season, and they've been on a wrecking train that hasn't stopped. That's what you have to compare it to. Just because they give you a small ounce of hope doesn't mean that that's who they are.
You can't cling on to that one hope and then use that to define your team. What defines your team is what right now they're 4 games out with 13 games back. They lead the league in blown saves.
Mm-hmm. So no, it doesn't mean what you hang your hat on.
Poor DeGrom can't get a win.
No, he
cannot. Poor guy.
So it doesn't mean it's what you hang your hat on and you just go, oh, they did that, they can do everything. No, but it just, when they have this streak of 15-16 and then they go down and then they lose to some better teams, you can hope that they right the ship in time. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that, they're going to.
And I'm right there with you on that. But I'm also being the realistic side. I'm just saying I'm hoping that the Mets make the playoffs. I'm hoping that they turn it around. They somehow Edwin Diaz goes back to Edwin Diaz. Lemire goes back to 2015. I'm hoping all that stuff happens, because if all that stuff happens, they could win a World Series. But I'm not actually believing that that's going to happen because of what they've shown me. I'm not just going to believe it.
I don't believe that they're going to win the World Series or that they're even going to make the postseason. I'm being realistic, too, saying they're out 4 games with 13 left.
That's not how you're sounding, though.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Well, I'm
it's
sorry
not how you're sounding.
If you're misconceiving me being hopeful that
and I'm
they
sorry
can
if
run
you're
a run.
misconceiving that I'm rooting against my team.
Well, you
see
literally wrote, I hope they don't make the playoffs, so I don't know how else I would take
And how
that.
long ago? That was probably after I saw fans like you saying they want to win the division. I probably made an emotional tweet after I saw that.
Ringo, I'm not misconceiving anything when the words are.
And by the way, if
I
we
don't
want
the Mets to make the playoffs.
if we want to go back months ago about tweets, you wanted the division. You were one of those fans that said we could beat the Braves.
I wanted the division. I never
What?
thought they were going to catch the Braves.
Yes, you did. You said it on the show. We can go back and look.
Jokingly, let's go after the Braves now. That's a joke. Every conversation we've had about the Mets, I'm very realistic with them. Am I hopeful? Yes, but I'm very realistic with what they can and cannot do.
You don't sound it at all.
Sorry, it's not written in stone like you not wanting them to make
Comes
the
off
playoffs.
a little. It comes off a little. You two are both right. Ringo, it does come off as if you didn't want your team to make the playoffs, but then you had to explain yourself. Tom, it came off as if you thought this team had a legitimate chance to make noise, but then you had to explain yourself.
Can I see the tweet?
I think
Where's
any
the
any team can make noise if they're given the chance. I think,
But yeah, any team can make sure. But you got to look more deep. You can't.
But
just
you're
say
still-
yes for
you're
what it
correct.
is.
Some
You gotta
still
look
defending
inside.
some
your
teams
side.
have more of a chance
You're
to make
still
noise.
doing it.
This is correct. But any team can make noise if you make the playoffs. That's my simple fact.
Yeah, but there's so much more to
Tom,
it.
you're
Yes, there's more to it.
technically
But
not
Jordan,
wrong.
Jordan, yes, there are flaws. Yes or no? Any team can make noise in the playoffs. Some teams can make more noise, but yes or no? Any team can make noise.
You just had Jordan tell us that we're both right, but we didn't explain ourselves right. So what do? You go back to not explaining yourself right.
No, I'm explaining myself perfectly
give you an
fine.
example
Any
right
team
now.
can make noise in the playoffs.
Any team
just
can make
write that
the
down.
Islanders
That is
this
it.
past year. The Islanders this past year were a good team, but they had a flaw. They struggled to score consistently. And yeah, was I pumped they were in the playoffs? Yeah, but I was also realistic. How long were they going to go until this scoring issue bit them in the ass? And guess what? It bit them in the ass in the second round. They couldn't score at the big goals like they did in the first round. It's the same thing with the Mets. You hope they make the playoffs, but you got to be realistic. How long is it going to take till this bullpen falls apart? And it's falling apart during the stretch.
Jordan, was it a
I'm
fun
not- I'm
ride
not
with the
putting-
Islanders
I'm
while
not-
it happened?
Yeah, it's a fun
It's
ride.
a fun ride. That's all I want. I just want to get on the ride. That's it.
Yeah, now you're saying like you just want to be a part of the ride, but at the beginning of this, you were pretty much
I
were
did
saying
not.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you
Okay, I thought.
did.
I thought they were going to win the World
I
Series.
just
You
said,
got it.
Not
Yep.
that I was saying in the beginning, you made it sound like just threw a couple guys in the bullpen, throw the two starters in the bullpen, and it can work. It might be able to work. I'm telling you,
that's
play
what
the
it-
tape back. And
Okay,
we'll
you
be
play
able
the
to-
tape back. But what I'm just saying is, yes, I said if you throw two stars in the bullpen, it's not going to right every wrong. It's not going to fix everything. It's not going to make a bullpen great. But it's somewhat
In
of
the
a
beginning, you
solution
were
to their
saying
biggest
the
problem.
bullpen you were making it sound like the bullpen could be worked around. The hitting is playoff caliber. The pitching is playoff caliber. But that's how you made it sound like. You're wrong for that, and Ringo's wrong for making it sound like he doesn't want his team to make the playoffs because you can't get that impression from both of you. All right?
I can
Well, we
see
gotta
that,
move
but
on from this.
But
I know. I'm still looking for this tweet. I can't find it.
But off the, I looked briefly and then had to go. I had to start talking, so I stopped looking. So
All right, we're gonna look after the show.
There's too
and
much-
we're gonna
there's
see.
too much time without Jordan talking.
I had to chime into. So I forgot what I had to chime into. But could we segue into? I mentioned the Islanders, so we could briefly go into hockey. But my comparison before was like watching. Back to football quickly. I mentioned McDavid, Connor McDavid.
Barkley and McDavid.
No, not Barkley. Patrick Mahomes and Connor McDavid. It's like they're playing on a different skill. Like they're playing on rookie. They're playing against high schoolers. He just sits there and just does whatever he wants in the pocket more and just flings it 90 yards, guys right in his hands. It's like they're in a league of their own. It's insane. I was watching the Mahomes game yesterday. The only pick I won yesterday was the Chiefs game, -7. They won 28-10. Yeah, you got you don't even Tyreek Hill, no Kareem Hunt, no Tyreek Hill. That's fine. I'll throw it to Deonta Robinson, whatever the guy's name is, and he'll get 30 fantasy points.
Yeah, Jordan, you picked him up in our, which I don't agree with the way we do waiver wire.
It's a free for all, but that's
it
how it
really,
should be.
No, it's not how it should be. It should be like the worst teams get the first pick at it.
No,
That's how it should be. But
No, I don't like. I'm not
I
a
don't
fan
like
of
that.
waivers. I think
Alec tanked his first
if you
week of his fantasy league just so he can get someone in the fantasy wire.
when was this?
Not our league, his other league.
Who?
This year,
So what happened?
he wanted to get. I don't know who he got.
Oh, you got
but-
to find out. Text him. Who did he want?
yeah.
And you're going to lose a
That's
game
what
to
I
get
said.
one
So
person.
Dumb. Yeah, it was so dumb. It was so
Fantasy
dumb.
but
isn't-
I understand. I don't completely. I'm not completely against waivers. I just think that not having waivers is better, just because. And I understand why they're there, so every team gets a chance to get a guy and stuff like that. But you first come, first serve. It's on your phone. You have your phone on you the
Okay,
whole
and
time. If you want a guy, go get him. If you
Okay,
don't,
but
if
that's
you
great and all, Ringo. But all 12 of us aren't under the same roof at the same time. Some people, I don't, but some people have work on Sundays. Some people are out. Some people don't have
That's
the
not
chance
my
to watch.
problem.
No,
No,
it's
I
not,
com-
but to
no,
make
I
it fair, if
completely
you
get
want to make
that.
the league
I
fair.
missed out on James Conner last year because I was working at the Clam Bar.
Yes, I
that
know.
really could have helped me.
That's great. Or you know what could have helped you? If you lost and you were in the first position, you could have had
That's
James
not how
Conner.
it is. It's too bad. It's whatever. It's just
I
how
know.
it
I'm
is.
just saying. But Ringo's saying, "Oh, well, it's first come, first serve." That's great. Well, Not me, because I don't work Sundays. But guess what? Certain people who do, they don't have that same chance. And I'm sticking up for them when that's not even me.
But how is it fair? Oh my God, Ben Roethlisberger's done for the season with an elbow.
No way, really?
Yep.
God. Really? All right, Mason Rudolph. I got to text my dad.
Jordan, you want to go quickly pick him up on our fantasy?
I got Russell Wilson. He's fine. On a Ben out.
Who has Big
for-
Ben in my other league, so I could trade him our
This,
quarterback.
Nick has him.
No, not that.
This specific situation. Let's pretend Le'Veon Bell's on the Steelers and James Conner's the backup. Le'Veon Bell's done for the year. I just saw this tweet. I'm the first one to see it out of the league for the most part. I'm gonna go pick up James Conner.
Yep.
That's on me because I was here first.
Okay, that's great.
That's okay.
And now your friend, you say your friend has the worst team in the league.
Wow, me and Alec.
He's
simultaneously been out for the year.
just say he's out for 5. He's out for 5 hours working, and he's down by 10 games in our league. He shouldn't get a chance to get James Conner because guess what? You're sitting on your ass doing nothing, and you get to have him first.
All right, know what? Oh boy, the final nail on the coffin. Know what?
You got to pay attention.
This is perfect. Know what? Do I expect the Steelers to make the playoffs? No. Would it be great for them to make the playoffs? No. But I'm being realistic. I would love for them to make a run with Mason Rudolph? Yeah. But am I be realistic and I expect them to make it? No.
Thank you. Is he rooting against his team? No.
Ringo, you were rooting against your team.
No, you're still accusing me for these things, and I have not told you why. You're still making the same comments, and you can't get accused for the same thing.
I am telling you why I'm making comments. You're just, oh no, I wasn't rooting against them, and then we just throw it in your face, and you just don't answer why you were rooting against them.
You've been attacking me for rooting against the Mets for the shows now, and every time I've proved you wrong, and every time you keep bringing it up. Just drop it.
You know what I just realized?
I still haven't seen the tweet. I still haven't found it. I went through the whole thing. I don't think I've ever said that. I could be wrong, but I don't think I've ever said it. I still haven't found the tweet. So
then I don't know how
you don't even have a basis to this.
Miraculously came up with it.
Yes, yeah.
You don't even have a
back to
okay.
the Ben thing. You know who just escaped with another season under his belt? Mike Tomlin. Yep, Mike Tomlin just survived another year because this is an excuse. No Ben. What am I supposed? Well, I don't have my we don't have a quarterback. We're not going to be good. He's back. He's going to be back next year. He escaped. What is the injury, Ringo? Did you see what the injury was?
I did. Elbow injury.
Yeah, I know it's elbow. Like any specifics to it? Ligament tear?
That's all that I'm seeing. Let me click this.
Oh, this is great. So this guy who has been in our in a different league.
You're a different league.
Yeah, he has Ben Roethlisberger as his quarterback. So I'm like, oh, hopefully he's the starter, so I could trade him maybe Philip Rivers or Tom Brady. And then I look up to see who is his other quarterback, Drew Brees. He's
oh, wow.
That sucks for this guy.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God. And quickly on fantasy, I was going to pick him, Ben, this year. But I'm like, no, I'll just go Russell Wilson because, like, I don't know, he was ranked a lot higher. So I'm like, okay, I'll just go Russell Wilson. Save my season.
Okay.
But, console the season. Yes, console the season. So I guess it's right now it's the Ravens division to lose.
Yeah.
Right now. It's right now I'm kind of right now in the Jets boat. Just like, show me what you can do, Mason Rudolph. Let me see what you got. Third round pick.
Do you think he's the quarterback?
I
for the
can't
franchise?
say that right now.
Well, I knew that Kyle Lauletta wasn't and Webb wasn't. I knew that.
No, I don't think he's a Kyle Lauletta or a Davis Webb. I think I have hope.
That he can be a starting quarterback for the Steelers.
He looked good in preseason. He had a really good game yesterday. That is the smallest sample size you can
And you know what, Jordan? You're going to know by the end of this year if he's capable.
Yes. Yeah. Hell, I'll know by the end of the game on Sunday if he's
probably,
capable.
yeah, probably that too.
But I have confidence.
Who are they versing Sunday?
The 49ers.
49ers?
Might be without James Conner. That guy can't stay healthy. Yeah. So, it's Mason Rudolph's team for the rest of the year. And could you imagine we have a quarterback controversy in Pittsburgh by the end of the year if he shows something?
Yeah, if he stands out.
They're not going to win any games. Want to know why? Because the defense is horrible.
Yeah,
they can't do anything, this Steelers defense. So What are they? This guy could put up 30. They're still going to lose. This guy, every time the Seahawks scored, went down the field and answered. Ben Roethlisberger will undergo surgery on his right elbow and be placed on season-ending injured reserve. Mike Tomlin announces. Great.
Yeah,
nice,
there's nothing specific about the elbow yet.
Yeah, nothing like tears.
Other than it's his right elbow.
Yeah, there's probably a tear, a ligament tear in there.
It's probably something wrong.
There's probably something wrong if you hit the nail on the head there. But this probably had to be nagging him since week 1 because he looked awful.
Maybe he had mono.
Yeah. Well, it's not his fault. Guys were dropping passes, but he was just they weren't doing anything. The Steelers, but it's the Ravens' division to lose right now. It's in their hands. The Steelers are moments away from going into a rebuild, especially with the defense. You got to clean house, but now they have an excuse not to clean house. I'm talking about coaching staff-wise.
Yeah.
Maybe you could fire Keith Butler, the defensive coordinator of the year. He should have been gone before the year started. Tomlin should have been gone before the year started, but now he gets another break. He's going to be back next year, unfortunately.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Especially with the 1-year extension. That's just awful.
Everyone gets a pass this year. Everyone's going to get a pass. Even maybe defensive personnel on the field.
All you're doing is delaying the inevitable.
Yeah. And the thing is,
the
Steelers have ignored these problems because they were so successful in the regular season. Yeah, they didn't do anything in the playoffs, but they've been so successful in the regular season, they ignored it and thought, know what, maybe it just wasn't our year. Maybe it just wasn't our year. But there are so many problems brewing underneath that they're exploding. The Bell situation, the Brown situation, the defense being awful for 6 years. Now it's exploding. And now it's really going to be showing you because there's going to be games Mason Rudolph does horrible, and they're going to get blown out. So... Big news breaking into the IT Sports Show.
I was going to say, I haven't been talking for this big news for a little bit because I'm trying to finesse a trade over here with a guy who has Drew Brees and Ben Roethlisberger as his quarterback.
Priorities, Tom. Priorities.
Yeah, right? This is priorities. This is worth some money right here.
We're live right now on a talk show, and you're just on your phone.
Well, you two were talking, all right? You two were talking, just like me and you were talking about the Mets, and Jordan was over there looking at some stuff. I got to see what I can come up with here.
Back
a couple $100.
Nick's backup quarterback is Sam Darnold.
Let me go trade Nick's. Oh, my.
Oh, God.
I guess Nick's the type to take Mason Rudolph and throw him in the start.
Yeah.
But it was nothing.
Yeah, big news coming in the Practical Talker Sports Show. Drew Brees is expected to miss 6 weeks with his hand injury for getting thumb surgery, and Big Ben is out for the year with an elbow injury. So if it's just a separation, that's not a season-ending injury. If it's a fracture, that's probably 7 to 8 weeks. Also, another news coming in the Practical Talker Sports Show: a second woman has accused Antonio Brown of sexual assault.
Oh God.
Yep.
So,
okay.
Well, I was gonna say Antonio Brown. I didn't know if he was gonna play yesterday or how much he was going to play if he did, and he went out there, caught 4 balls for 50-some-odd yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
And he was getting open like he was Chris Hogan. It was
the
nothing.
Dolphins just gave up. But the first drive, it looked like they were just going to shove the ball down his throat. He was all over the field. And then they just stopped giving it to him. They just stopped. Mm-hmm. But then later in the game, they targeted him, I think, 4 times in the end zone on one drive. If one of them was caught eventually for a touchdown. But all right, that's it for football talk for today. We have a couple more minutes left. We really don't talk hockey that much, but I guess we'll finish up with hockey because finally our restricted free agents are starting to drop. They're starting to hit the domino effect. You had Zach Werenski was the beginning stages of it. He re-signed in Columbus, a defenseman. He's very good. Trying to think. Charlie McAvoy, he's a defenseman out of Long Island, signed in Boston. He was a restricted free agent. And then the big one, the big guy that the Islander fans thought they were getting, Mitch Marner, signed a 6-year extension for a little under $11 million in Toronto. So he's back in Toronto after the big saga this offseason. Toronto now has probably $4 in cap space. So this year Toronto it's Stanley Cup or bust for Toronto. And Toronto, if they don't win the Stanley Cup, there are going to be a lot of questions this coming offseason in Toronto because their whole defensive core, minus Morgan Riley, who's locked up for a couple more years, they are all free agents, and they're not going to have enough money to sign the majority of them. So it's a cup or bust this year for the Leafs. They got no cap space. They got a lot of free agents on defense next year. So they got to do something this year. They're powered. They're like stacked, this team, especially up front on forwards. So they got to make noise in the playoffs. They can't just keep doing these first round exits. As an Islander fan, would I love them to be knocked out in the first round? Yeah, it would be hysterical.
You don't even want them in the first round. Don't even make the playoffs.
Yeah, that'd be hysterical. But so another restricted free agent falls off the board. You still got a couple other, Braden Point in Tampa still unsigned. Mikko Rantanen in Colorado still unsigned. Winnipeg re-signed their defenseman Josh Morrissey to a 6-year deal. Patrick Laine, I think it's just a matter of time before he gets dealt before the season. I don't see Patrick Laine staying in Winnipeg. He might get traded, so teams might be able to save the draft picks, but the 4 first-round draft picks, but they might have to give up some players and some draft picks as well, and then that team would have to sign him. It wouldn't be like they would trade for his rights. They would have to they wouldn't offer sheet him. Teams wouldn't offer sheet him. Teams would have to trade. I just contradicted myself. Teams would have to trade for Patrick Laine's rights and then offer him a contract. They wouldn't just offer sheet him. That's what I see that situation going in Winnipeg. But, I predicted this. The dominoes would start to fall closer to the season start, and you're seeing this. I think I might be forgetting. I got Marner. I got McAvoy. I got Werenski. Sebastian Aho went very early in the summer. But, yeah, don't be surprised you start seeing some more restricted free agents fall down to their teams. Like I said, Braden Point, Mikko Rantanen, and Patrick Laine are the big 3 that I could think of off the top of my head. If I might be forgetting others. But those are the big 3. We'll see something towards the beginning of the season because nobody wants to deal with the Maple Leafs dealt with last year with Nylander and wound up having to wait to December to sign him. And then they saw what happened in December. They signed Nylander. He doesn't play till December, and he plays like crap. So the teams don't want to deal with that, especially with their studs. So the Islanders miss out on the RFAs. I think they were nowhere near the RFA. They didn't want to even touch them. My biggest fear at the Islanders was a team that goes into a season not expecting to make the playoffs and then wind up making the playoffs. If they go into that following offseason not making any moves to address holes, they usually go into the next year not making the playoffs, and they look up bad. And that is a problem right now with the Islanders. They addressed the hole with the third-line center. They addressed the hole with the goalie. They got a goalie again. Then the big hole is getting a top-6 scorer, and they haven't got that yet. They really trust the personnel they have now. I think that's really risky. I think they really need a top-6 guy. And if they go into the season with this team they have now, I said it last year, if they go into the season with the team they had last year, they're not going to do anything, and they did a lot. But can you go into the season with the same tricks as last year, which is a defensive-heavy team, a defensive-minded team? Could you do that? I don't know. Teams will figure you out. Teams are good enough to figure out your coaching styles. You have to keep adapting. So it's like I said before, do I hope the Islanders will do as good as they do next year? Do I hope this year they do as good as they did last year? Yes. Do I hope it? Yes. Do I see it? I see this possibly being a tough season for them if they don't address.
They've been ignoring a top-6 forward for a while now. Not ignoring if they just get it done.
Yeah, at the trade deadline last year, they needed one, and they couldn't acquire one. It's not like they're sitting on their asses and they're not doing anything.
Yeah.
They offered, what's his name? Panarin more money than anyone offered him, and he just didn't want to come here. But he'd rather play in the Rangers. But if you're going to play for the Mets or the Yankees, who are you picking? The Yankees. If you're going to pick the Islanders or the Rangers, who are you picking?
You watch your mouth. I just had to pick up my mic for that. You watch your mouth, Jordan, all right?
But I thought I was going to make the analogy, who are you going to play for, the Nets or the Knicks? Apparently the Nets.
Oh,
yeah.
God. It's not. That's the way it's leaning right now. Do I still think the Nets are going to make a run and do anything
Tom?
with it? No.
What do you mean leaning, Tom? It toppled over to the Nets.
I don't. Honestly, if you look at it just like a quick glance, yeah. But still, no, I don't think so. I still don't think the Nets are going to do anything. I still don't think that they're going to be anything this year.
They were good last year, and they added Kyrie, but Kyrie's kind of a cancer right now. He's kind of like
and plus
tough to work
Durant's
with.
going to be out, so it's going to be
Durant.
Kyrie. And look how the Celtics did with him and without him. So
yeah, they did. They thrived without him, and then with him they did good, but they didn't do as good as they did without him. Because he's kind of, like I said, he's kind of a cancer to the team. But we'll close it out early today. We got the Jets. Any closing remarks? We got the Jets tonight, guys. Anything we have to say?
I hope the Browns demolish them.
I can see the Browns demolishing them. I don't know. Trevor Siemian had his moments in the preseason, but it's preseason, so I don't even know what to expect tonight. I don't know.
What's
It's
your...
gonna be what's gonna be annoying seeing this whole Greg Williams Odell feud going on. If that gets brought onto the field, I don't even want to watch it.
Odell.
Baker Odell are going to go into the side.
Oh, and it's Baker. They're
going to go into the sideline, start chirping.
Yeah, they're gonna. Yeah, don't be surprised you see some stuff tonight like that. We got Le'Veon playing, nursing a shoulder injury. That is a concern for me. He might be good to go tonight, but this dude hasn't played. He didn't play all of last year. Didn't play in the preseason. Now he's nursing a shoulder injury already. This could be nagging, and then it could get worse.
So we're saying it's like a Des Bryant thing.
It's apparently it's shoulder soreness, and he had the MRI just to be sure.
Yeah,
so
maybe
it doesn't sound
bruise right now.
Maybe he forgot what football is like, took a hit, and it hurt him, and he was just checking it out because he.
That's what happens when you rest players in the preseason completely. I understand giving them limited reps.
I don't think they rested him in the preseason completely. Or maybe it's the fact that he didn't play football in over a year.
It's both.
But it's both.
It's both.
Yeah,
preseason need preseason football. You see it. Look at week one.
Saquon Barkley needed preseason football.
Saquon Barkley could. Did he get any reps in the preseason?
Zilch, 0.
He still could have used it. He's still going to use it.
He
can get more. Everyone use it needs preseason football.
He's also
How many
a lot
teams
younger.
did you see come out week one looking like garbage, just looking lost? Defenses.
Yeah, if that's the case, Jordan, give him 8 games of preseason football.
No, 8. Give him 4. The preseason, it's fine right now. It's fine the way it is.
Preseason is perfect the way it is. The media and all the fans perceive it as just like pointless and stupid and not fun because it's just not entertaining.
We had this discussion about how preseason football is needed, and anyone who says no is stupid.
It's 100%.
I literally tweeted that.
I was going to say, it's opinions, Jordan. Opinions.
Yeah, your opinion's stupid if you think it's not. If you think it should be X.
And I agree.
Well, so for some facts though, we had our picks. And shocking no one, me and Jordan did our classic 1 and 2s.
Yeah, we're 1 and 2 all the time.
I had the Patriots minus 18.5, and they could have covered minus 42.5 against the Dolphins, beating them 43-0. Jordan had the Chiefs minus 7. They obviously covered, and then Ringo over here could have went 3 for 3, but the Eagles could not pull it out against the Falcons, losing 24-20. So he went 2 and 3 with the Cowboys and the Bills.
Yep. So, yeah, those are our picks. We'll be back Friday with our pick. Oh, wait, do we do a Thursday pick?
Yeah, we do.
What's going on Thursday? We'll do that to close out the show. We forgot we'll do our Thursday pick. So who we got Thursday night and what's the spread?
Right. Let's check this out. Thursday night.
What we got? My app is not loading. Oh, here we go. Not MLB. NFL Week 3. Oh, real barn burner this Thursday. Jaguars home to the Titans.
Oh, boy.
Who makes these games? 2 weeks in a
row. The first
row.
one's always good, and then after that, it just goes downhill.
Next week's a good one. Packers home to the Eagles.
That's
but this week is just like, oh, my God.
Okay,
Gun to my head.
So Jaguars-Titans, what's the spread?
-2. Titans are 2-point favorites
okay.
on the road.
All right, Ringo, lead us off as the leader of the pack. Who do you have?
You got to go Titans, I guess. -2. I'll take it.
Yeah, I know, right? But the Jaguars' defense is so good.
I know, but I know Minshew's looking good, but like I don't know,
he's
still
good. He's not.
Well, he had a crazy week 1.
Yeah,
I didn't see much. I didn't see much yesterday, but
okay, Jordan, who are you going with?
It could be easy just to say the Titans.
Yeah, it's easy to do that, but what do you want to do?
The Jaguars' defense is really good. I feel like they'll really shut
the Titans'
down.
defense is pretty good too.
Yeah, I feel like they'll shut down Mariota. And the Titans' defense is good, so I think they'll shut down Uncle Rico.
Who do you have, Jordan?
Just give me the Titans 1-2.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a safe pick.
I was going to say 2 weeks
Hey,
in a row.
last week we thought the Panthers were safe.
I was gonna
and we
say.
got
Yeah, we were all
Yeah,
wrong.
2 weeks in a row. We are all going the same for the Thursday night game, and this is why we do not pick the same games for the Sunday games.
Yep.
Everyone's going Titans -2 against the Jaguars on the road.
Yep.
And we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, that's it. We will all be ready with my popcorn and soda watching that game. Can't wait.
I'll probably just look up the score at the end of the game.
Yeah, me too. Alec will probably watch it, so I'll be Xing him how it goes.
Alec just takes in all the film he can.
Yeah, Alec watches a lot of game film. But all right, that's gonna do it for tonight's A Practical Talker Sport. Today's A Practical Talker Sports Show. Catch us on Twitter at @ITSports_show, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music at Practical Talker Sports Show. We'll be back Friday, same time at 11 to recap the Monday Night Jets game. This game's a real toss-up. I have no idea where it's going to go. I have no idea who's going to do what. It's really a question mark.
The Browns are winning. That's what I'm
Right,
believing.
the Browns are winning. I don't need the Browns to do much on offense because I'm playing a couple guys in fantasy, but I do have Njoku, but who cares about my fantasy team, really? All right, so we'll see you guys next Friday. Jordan, Tom, Ringle, we'll see you then.